January 27th, 2025, Lakefield, Missouri. A man named Mike Henderson was out for his usual jog through Lakefield Park when he saw something near the lake's edge. A dead body of a young woman named Rachel Carter. And what happened to her over the next few hours would uncover something far darker than anyone expected. Because Rachel wasn't just killed, she was hunted. And she wasn't the only one. It was a quiet Saturday morning in the peaceful town of Lakefield. At around 6:15 a.m., Mike Henderson, a local gym teacher, was jogging his regular route through Lakefield Park. The sky was still gray, and a thin layer of frost clung to the grass. Everything felt still. Too still. As Mike passed near the edge of the lake, he saw something just off the path, something blue and bunched up near the trees. At first, he thought it was trash, but then he saw the hand, pale, lifeless, sticking out from a blue tarp. He froze. His first instinct was denial. Maybe it was a mannequin. Maybe this was some twisted prank. But deep down, he knew it wasn't. He called 911 with a shaky voice. "There's a body in the park. Please hurry." Police arrived within minutes and taped off the area. The tarp was opened carefully. What they found made seasoned officers turn away. It was a young woman, mid to late 20s. Her clothes were torn. There were bruises on her arms. And the worst part, her face had been badly damaged. Likely post-mortem. No ID, no phone, just a torn red hoodie and white sneakers. Detective Julia Price was assigned to the case. She was methodical, sharp-eyed, but quiet. Someone who preferred observing over talking. Right away, she noticed something off. There wasn't a drop of blood nearby. No drag marks. No signs of a struggle. The body had been dumped. And the woman? She was a Jane Doe. No missing person report matched her. But then Julia found something. A small, smudged ink stamp on the woman's wrist. One of those invisible stamps clubs use. That gave her a window. If the body was dumped overnight, maybe the woman had been out Thursday or Friday. So Julia and her team spent hours reviewing grainy footage from local bars. At first, nothing. But then, there she was. Red hoodie, long dark hair, leaving a bar called the Hollow Room at 11:30 p.m. on Thursday night. She wasn't alone. A man followed her out, mid-40s, wearing a dark leather jacket. He kept his distance, but never lost sight of her. His face never turned toward the camera. There was something cold in the way he walked. Police now had a potential lead. But they still didn't know who the woman was. Days passed. Then, a woman named Trisha came forward. Her roommate, Rachel Carter, hadn't been home since Thursday. Rachel was 28, waitress, moved to Lakefield just 4 months ago. She'd sent a text at 11:40 p.m., leaving now, be home soon. She never arrived. Trisha brought in Rachel's photo. Same hoodie, same hair. The Jane Doe had a name now, Rachel Carter. But that only raised more questions. Her last phone ping was traced near a half-demolished construction site 5 blocks from the bar. Julia went there herself, hoping for a clue. At first glance, it was just gravel and rusted fences. Then she saw something, half buried in the dirt. A broken necklace with the initials RC. Not far from it, a security camera was mounted on an abandoned storefront, spray painted over, but the camera brand? Cloud-based storage. When Julia pulled the footage, her stomach turned. Rachel was walking alone. Then, the man in the leather jacket entered the frame. He spoke to her. She looked uncomfortable, stepping back. He grabbed her arm. Then, suddenly, the feed cut out. But just before it did, a white van crept into view. No logos, tinted windows. It parked in the shadows, engine running. That van became the new lead. The license plate came back to a man named Robert Keene, 45, no record, self-employed contractor, lived just outside town. Julia and 2 officers visited him. Calm guy, said he'd been home that night, asleep, claimed he hadn't been downtown in weeks. But security footage from a gas station near the construction site caught him at 12:07 a.m., buying cigarettes, wearing the same leather jacket. That was enough to get a warrant. Inside Robert Keene's garage, the search team worked quietly but thoroughly. Behind a row of dusty tool cabinets, they found the van. Its interior carpet was stained, not fresh blood, but old, set in, like something that had been scrubbed once, but not completely. Rope, duct tape, a burner phone wrapped in plastic, all tucked away beneath an old tire jack. Then, something even more disturbing. In the van's ashtray were 2 small gold earrings, tiny red stones embedded in the center. Rachel's roommate confirmed they were hers, but he still denied everything. Something felt off. Keene didn't have a criminal record, no complaints, not even a speeding ticket. His house was quiet. His neighbors called him polite, the type who mowed his lawn twice a week. But Rachel's blood in the van and her earrings in the ashtray made one thing clear. He wasn't innocent. But Julia knew that the truth was bigger than one night. She sent the burner phone to the cyber forensics team, and it cracked open the real horror. There was an encrypted folder, dozens of images, different women, blurry pictures taken from a distance, on buses, in grocery stores, walking home at night. Some were dated months ago, some were recent, and some matched open missing persons cases from 3 different states. They weren't selfies. They weren't stolen from social media. These were taken by him, stalked, documented. The folder also had notes, timelines. She jogs alone, lives with 1 roommate, smokes on the balcony every night around 10. He watched them, studied them, waited. But it still wasn't enough. Julia wanted a confession. When Robert was brought in again, he was calm, flat, no fear. He just stared. She asked about Rachel. He claimed again. She wanted to come. She changed her mind. I let her go. But then Julia mentioned the photos. She laid out printed copies of the women. That's when something changed. His eyes narrowed. His fingers twitched, but he said nothing. Then she said something else, quietly. We know about the others. You didn't just kill Rachel. She was the first one we found. He flinched. Julia leaned in. You didn't plan to kill her, did you? She said something. She fought back. Silence. Then finally, he spoke. Not her, he said. She wasn't supposed to be difficult. Julia didn't interrupt. Robert looked down and for the first time his voice cracked. She kept asking questions. About my van. Said she didn't feel safe. She tried to run. I told her to stop. But she screamed. He paused. I panicked. I didn't mean to hit her that hard. Julia asked why he picked her. Robert looked down, then slowly back up. She reminded me of someone, he said, voice low. My ex, from years ago. Julia waited. She left me, said I was too quiet, said I made her uncomfortable. His hands curled slightly. I never laid a hand on her, never raised my voice, but she told people I was strange. After that, everything changed. I lost my job, friends stopped calling, like I was some kind of threat. He paused, his jaw tightening. And then I saw Rachel. Same smile, same laugh, same kind of girl who looks at you like you don't exist until she wants something. Julia didn't say a word. I followed her online first, just wanted to know if I was wrong. But she was exactly like her, always posting, always surrounded by people, never alone, but never really noticing anyone either. Another pause. Then he admitted, I didn't plan to hurt her. I just wanted her to see me, to understand what she did to people like me. That's when she started talking to me like I was dangerous, like I was nobody again, and I couldn't take it. Robert Keene was charged not only with Rachel's murder, but was soon tied to 2 other cold cases through forensic evidence. Rachel's story shocked the town, but it did more than that. It opened many eyes. Be aware, trust your instincts, because monsters don't wear masks anymore. They wear faces just like ours.